Hello and welcome. And starting at a new time this week, as I type my little message out here, I can't do. Hello, Ilaria. Okay, yeah, starting a new time. I'm in a different time zone, so 4 o'clock was just a little too late to be on. and So we'll see who shows up. We'll give it a minute or so. It's really early for some people somewhere west of me, um, but we'll so little adjustments into for everybody. Uh, I'm not asleep yet, but I'm doing pretty well actually with the time change and all that. So let's just get started. Everybody can join in as they join in, but just kind of take a minute to really notice the position of your body, how you're sitting. Don't shift it. Just notice. I tend to say that to people, and then they start shifting around to get to a better place. Don't shift. Notice. Be aware. Let those tension areas just be there and relax into them. So no running away. And you might hear the bell out here. Got the church is not too far away, and the old traditions still reign here with ringing the bells, good and bad. So let's take a minute to really be still, come into that stillness, and not move, and just feel your body. You know, when you're playing hide and seek and you're in that hidden corner and the person's looking for you and you're kind of really holding still. So, not hiding here, or maybe there is a part of you that's hiding and that you're not really noticing until you hold still. In fact, we all have those parts that hide. And when we hold still, they become louder. So that's why it gets very difficult sometimes to hold still and be quiet and be in the silence because those hidden parts will start to really become present in us. So holding still and noticing how that feels, what's coming up, what areas are acting up, what areas are maybe too quiet, might be areas you're not noticing because your awareness never goes there or hardly ever. So look for those areas and become really present in those areas. Notice how they feel. Coming into deeper, deeper stillness. Allowing yourself to really slow down and come even into that still point in the mind. No thinking. Even the mind coming into that state of being. that state of equanimity. And just breathe into that. From that place of stillness, holding still in the body, holding still in the mind. Noticing and becoming aware of those areas of the body that you don't notice. Coming into deeper stillness by reaching in deeper into your being, by reaching your awareness into where you are not. Noticing the sound of your breathing. If you have headsets, that will really amplify that. But even without headsets, just taking that time to notice, to hear the sound of your breath. Hey, Elizabeth, welcome. So come on in, join us in, hey, aloha from Kauai. Hello, Mike. Good to see you. So focusing on that breath. So for those who just joined, really coming into that place of holding still in your body. So if there's any discomfort with the way you're sitting, just leave it there. Don't try to move into another position to get that right. Just hold still. If there's discomfort, just kind of breathe into that. Come into yourself even more. Relax around that tension, around that discomfort. Coming into the stillness of mind. Hola, Vanessa, or Anna Vanessa. Stillness of mind. Becoming aware of any part of you that you are not or less aware of. Could be your lower back, could be somewhere in the middle area of your back, like waist level. Do you ever notice that part? Below, kind of over that area between the waist and the sacrum on your back. You usually don't notice certain areas until the muscles go. What about the toenail on your little toe, little tiny toe? Notice that. Notice the hairline behind your ears. So why is it so important to notice these things? One, it's about bringing yourself into your body fully, because you can't really fully live in physical reality in this present moment in time unless you are here in your body, in every part of your body. And where you are not in your body is usually where you are, where you have pain, where you're fighting with yourself is where pain is showing up in your body. Discomfort. Usually by the time the discomfort shows up is that there's a condition that has set in enough but the condition started before you're feeling the pain. And people who have high level of body sensitivity will start noticing these things and maybe freak their doctor and the dentists out before by telling them things like, my cavity is right here on that side, and when you shouldn't be able to feel your cavity, technically speaking. That was me as a kid. My dentist could not figure that out because it had not reached the part of the tooth that is sensitive enough to register that information. And I could tell him which side of the tooth the cavity was on because I could just feel it. So I've worked on people with like twisted muscles, unwinding that twist. So the mind is trying to go one way, the body is going in another way, just like that. Take that away, and the body falls back into place. So conflict, mind, body. There's an internal conflict, and that's just a very simple thing, but it can go much deeper than that. When we slow our minds down and give our minds something to pay attention to, like the outer tips of the eyebrows. What are the outer tips of your eyebrows doing? What do they feel like? Is the hairline flat? Is it the eyebrow hair turning up? Is it sticking out from the skin? That slows our minds down into right here, right now, nothing else. We can worry all we want about what's happening somewhere else, be that another location from where we are, another time, another space, another moment, either in our own history or any other history that we have in our minds. But what does that do? Gives us something to think about. And that can cause a lot of stress. So taking a nice deep breath in. So drop your awareness all the way down. Imagine your awareness just dropping all the way down to the core of the earth. Down, 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 down. Let's go all the way down. Everybody here. I'm going to pull you all down. So just aim your awareness for the core of the earth there. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to all the way down. Just keep it there. Keep your awareness there. I don't care how much noise is around you. Keep your awareness focused on the core of the earth. Wow. Okay, Ilaria, you're really resisting that. So you really don't like being grounded. At least right now you don't. Your system doesn't. You're fighting it. So notice that. Come into your breath and do it again. There's your system kind of has this little bratty attitude right now about this. It's funny the personality types that come up. So let's see who else. Yeah, Elizabeth, be more focused on coming down. you're kind of like, yeah, that. You're a little bit up here. You're kind of pulling down, but you're kind of up here. So pull all of you down. Mike, you're doing really well. I pulled you down a little bit too, because what I've noticed with people is we think we're grounded and we're just sitting on the surface of the earth. So when I say like all the way to the core of the earth, that's just really taking it a deeper level. And people think they've dropped down to the core of the earth and they're just sitting on the top. So and Anna, pull yourself in and down. You're kind of like out here. So really, so notice your skin. Notice that outline of your body. Hey, Kayla made it. She's up. Mike is up. I have to say Mike is up. But I guess it's not too late in Hawaii. Anyways, so Anna, come into that container of your body. Pull yourself in. Come into the core and then drop yourself down. So, and Kayla, just also kind of the same thing, but really more in terms of your getting off that call and coming into here, into now. So shifting from the matrix of the call to the matrix of you here. Yeah. And sorry if you don't like what I've said. This is what's showing up. So I'm gonna just say what shows up, you know. Yeah, there we go. Now everybody is more coherent overall. I'm in a rehearsal for a pit orchestra for a play we're doing, so I won't be able to type anything. Oh, good for you. All right. So even if you're listening, Elizabeth, and you're in that rehearsal, really, you can do both at the same time. So really be really present and focused on your physical surroundings. So with you, you're in the rehearsal. So really focus on where you're sitting, whatever you're doing, if you're holding your instrument or if you're playing it and you're listening to me at the same time. Focus on your physical and immediate physical environment first, and just notice kind of in the sidelines what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. The more you can do that, the more you'll be really focused, and that's actually what we want to all be able to do, is you're focused in the immediate, even if you're hearing in the immediate. I mean, exactly the immediate here. You know, this is not the immediate. This is the immediate. This is the immediate. Even if it's out here, because the noise can be out here and coming into you. But if you're out there, you're not in here. You got to come into here. So that's first primary focus, awareness. And breathing into that thing, and breathing into that awareness, and noticing in the background the other stuff. So Elizabeth, for you, noticing the background, my talking, and giving directions. Taking a deep breath in, filling your lungs as much as you can, holding it at the top. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Exhale. Exhale really slowly, carefully. The way to exhale more slowly without tightening up your chest is to narrow the opening of your mouth. Control this, and then relax this. It'll come out by itself. Okay. Now feel yourself sitting on top of the earth. Feel yourself on the earth. And if you're in a building, you're on the earth. The building's on the earth, and through that connection, you are on the earth. You can also visualize yourself sitting directly on the earth if you wish. Yeah, bringing a little bit more grounding into everybody, because there's a little bit of this floating that's happening. Being in a good space and being a little bit of a floating space. So let's sink into that. Let's bring in that. Everybody was in a pretty good place. Let's bring it all into that. Grounded space. Even in that lightness of light state of being, there's one person here just feels like that's kind of it's like you've developed a higher state of being, but it's like your little bubble's floating a little bit above the ground. So that's kind of interesting. I think I would want you to be a little bit more grounded. In other words, have your bubble be on the earth instead of a little bit above. Try it both ways and see when is one a better mode for whatever you're doing, when is the other a better mode for whatever you're doing. It's not about doing one thing the same way all the time. It's important to have that flexibility and come into that place of what is the best way for us to be with whatever's going on. So having that flexibility instead of holding on, it's like I've got to be this way because this is me. I know myself through being this way. Your being is more expansive than that. You're much more than that moment and being one way, one certain way. And even the grounding, we all kind of need to adjust because for me, last time I was doing this was I was a lot closer to the ground. Here I'm like 3 stories up, or 4 in the States, 3 in Europe, 4 in the States. So I noticed that. I can notice that for myself, that it's like I can tell I'm farther up physically from the earth. So when you notice that for yourself, pay attention to how that feels, and it's like, okay, bring yourself further down. So often that means that we have to pay closer attention to being on the earth, connected to the earth for grounding, for example. Sitting on the earth, we have to really emphasize that in our minds when you're feeling that difference. It's like, no, let's really be on the earth. You know, you can see yourself in the grass, you can see yourself in the sand, you can see yourself sitting on that rock. And then as you pay attention to that, as you notice that, you'll notice your body will kind of like, it will start to move through your body. So maybe feeling your legs being more grounded, more heavier first. You know, and let that feeling move through your body, that heaviness, being grounded on the earth, connected to the earth, that gravity pulling you down to anchor you down, anchor you into this present moment. And allow yourself to relax into that. Breathe into that, yeah. And for some of you, it might feel really uncomfortable because you're so much more up here than you realize that you are. Could be this moment, it could be all the time. So take notice of that. And feel, so back to where I started, feeling that tension and not shifting your body to get away from that tension, but holding that tension. And letting yourself drop into that more. Just being present with that tension will help to ground you more. You know, and it's like when if you're doing a stretch, let's say like comes to mind is like a yoga where you have your legs in front of you and you bend over to do that full leg stretch on the ground. And your leg is shaking, your leg will start to shake because the tension of the muscles builds, you know, and allow that leg to shake because it's like releasing. There's this releasing that's happening in the muscles and the what is it? Is it the neurons? I can't think of the word, but that information circuit in the muscles is releasing, and it will come into a more grounded place in the body, in the leg, in those muscles, as the tension releases. Yeah. A lot of stillness today in the group. So very good. Coming into that. So fine-tuning how we come in, what we do with ourselves, what we, you know, it's an ongoing process. Every moment is different. Every moment brings something different. Every conversation brings something different. All of these bring new awarenesses for us, for understanding ourselves, understanding how we're seeing something, understanding what we need to change. Okay. I'm gonna. I see your message, and I'm actually gonna pass on the scans today. But I think we'll be talking soon, anyways. So just allow yourself to feel where you are. If you feel frustrated right now with wherever you're at, just notice that. Breathe into that. If any frustrations or irritations of any kind, just notice it. This is part of the coming into being, you know. Things aren't always how we want them to be. And just allowing ourselves to be present with whatever is. So we'll see how we do with this new time. Little adjustment for everyone. Oh God, see, I've got my times all around, all all shifted around. I haven't quite figured this out yet. I'm getting used to this. Like I'm thinking, okay, West Coast is like 6 o'clock in the morning. No, it's like noon. Um, and for some reason, Hawaii, I was thinking that was a completely different time, but you're at 9:30 in the morning, so that's not too bad. And middle of the afternoon for the East Coast, so really good. Okay, we're going to end here today, and next Wednesday we'll see what comes up and do a little bit more. But today's kind of reorientation to the new time, the new location, the new everything. Um, and uh, Pure Life Infusions is starting on Monday for May. So if you'd like to join up for that, uh, go to the website under the sessions, frequency sessions. All the way down at the bottom of the page, you'll see information about what that is. But it's just a group frequency frequency repatterning, and really helping people to shift into that pure essence of themselves, that pure life, bringing that through and clearing what what is keeping us from that, all those distortions that we've picked up, all this twisting around that we've picked up. So yeah, thank you, Anna. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Kayla. Mike, is nice to see you pop up, and Ilaria too. So see you next week for coming into being, and for those joining Ply, see you on Monday. And if might see some of you on for my birthday, kind of randomly send out invitation to that, but that will be on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So, all right, take care, everybody, and we'll see you in the ethers or wherever we meet up next.